What's up, people? Welcome to the KFLO show, where the goal is to inspire, encourage, and empower you to live life better with information for transformation and elevation. Hashtag elevation information. We will discuss faith, fashion, fun, finances, and much, much more. And hey, don't just watch, like, and subscribe at iamkflow.k. And remember, sharing is caring. Enjoy the show. What's up, y'all? I am your girl, KFLO. I am back. Can you believe it? Here I go. Here I go. And here I go. So, y'all, welcome to the show. I am back for another episode. It has been a minute, but your girl got some stuff she want to talk about. So here I am. I'm starting a little early because it's supposed to rain and the internet's. So let's just go ahead on and jump in. Y'all, thank you for watching. If you're not watching the live, you can catch me at any time on Facebook. Just go over to YouTube, search for Kandid Kontent, and subscribe, and you can watch all of my content. So let's jump in. Today's topic is making adjustments. And your girl is making some adjustments that I was not expecting, but adjustments nonetheless. A little thing called menopause, or as I like to say, men on pause. Listen, I don't know whose body this is, but they can have it back. Literally, you can take it back because this is not my body. This is not Kim's body. I don't know what happened, but it's a lot of stuff going on that I was not expecting. No one prepared me for. Between my knees, my neck, and my back, child. Let's get into the things that they don't tell you. They don't tell you about your brain function, how you brain fog. They don't tell you about, my whole life I've just heard about hot flashes. I never heard about anything else other than hot flashes. So there's brain fog, there's low energy, there's mood swings. And now there's this new thing called like smelling smoke. Because for like a few days, I was smelling smoke. And I could not figure out where the smoke was coming from. I'm not a smoker. My mother's not a smoker. So I had not been around any smokers. But I just kept smelling smoke and I didn't know why. And then one of my friends mentioned it on Facebook and said, the smelling smoke. I had no idea that was a symptom of menopause. I had just got my hair done. So I thought maybe the girl changed products. And she's a smoker. So I was like, well, maybe some of the scent lingered and I took it home. I didn't know. I couldn't figure it out. But anyway, that's another symptom, smelling smoke. Weird, totally weird. So, and then you got, I've been hearing about HRT, which is hormone replacement therapy. I've been hearing about that for years. Never knew what it was. I had to Google it. Don't know if I was a candidate for that because when I went in, I had a scheduled appointment, went in to have them test blood and all that. They didn't have the right needles. Your girl don't do needles. I require butterfly needles or someone who is very skilled at what they're doing. So after about that third or fourth shot and they couldn't get it, I was like, hey, it ain't meant to be. And anyway, it's some more part to that story, but I'll share that later. So anyway, menopause is a thing. Y'all, the pills, omega-3, CQ10, never heard of it. D3, there's also something called D3K2, which I didn't get that, but I'll probably get that next time. B12, like all these different things that I have now. Let me tell y'all, for the hot flashes, I got that under control because I take Vioza. Have y'all heard the commercial? I didn't even know that was what I was taking until I saw the commercial. I was like, oh, that's what I take. Now they do help me, and you can get a prescription through your doctor, or you can go through the Vioza website and get a coupon, and it saves you a lot of coin. I think still you have to have your insurance, I think, to get it. It's prescribed. But baby, let me tell you something. I am able to sleep through the night. I don't have to go to the bathroom as much at night. I used to wake up like maybe 6-7 times a night, y'all, just to go pee. totally disrupting my sleep. And I'm already a light sleeper and I don't sleep well anyway. So that was very disruptive. But once I started taking the Viosa, it cut out all of that. If I have to go now, it may be like once, maybe twice, but I can sleep through the night. It kind of relaxes you, puts you out. I guess it calms down your uh, system, whatever, so you don't have to go to the bathroom as much, whatever. Viosa works for me. So whoever's going through menopause, check that out. Now, I don't know about all the other issues as far as like your libido and all this stuff, because your girl ain't getting busy like that. I'm waiting for, I'm waiting for him, whoever him is. I am waiting for him. So I'm literally like men on pause right now until, Mr. Right comes along and sweep me off my feet, honey, because I want to be swept off my feet. I'm tired. And we'll get into that in just a few minutes. But anyways, anything else I want to talk about is regarding menopause. Yeah, mood swings. I've noticed irritability. Now I'm already a no nonsense type of chick. So when you add that onto me being, very kind of chill, very kind of laid back chick, but you add old age, let me not say old age, but aging, getting older as well to all the things that are going on. And then you add menopause on top of that. Baby, listen, if I was not saved and didn't love the Lord, I would be hell on wheels. Wheels with a Z. Okay? Because I'm already no nonsense. I'm already, that girl. Not to say that girl, but I'm already like no nonsense, no BS type of chick. So you add that onto me getting older, and I'm also in my own care mood. So you add no nonsense plus I don't care anyway, and then menopause on top of that. Y'all, y'all, it's a lot. I I was already kind of a lot, not really, but kind of. But it's just all the things combined and everything that my body is going through physically that I can't explain. And menopause is this thing that people don't like, that they're just now starting to have the conversation about menopause. I guess thanks to Oprah and Hallie and some other doctors out there, it's getting, celebrity buzz and people who are celebrities now talking about menopause. But we used to then talk about this thing. So that's why I'm saying, like, all I ever knew about was the hot flashes. It's way more complicated than just hot flashes. Like I said, now I got my hot flashes under control, but there's a lot of other things like low energy. Most of the time, I don't feel like doing nothing. I just want to go to bed. And my friends used to talk about me and say, "Oh, girl, you're going to bed early." But I know now that was a symptom. That wasn't just me being tired. That was my body responding to this change that I'm going through, and that I was always tired. Now I do exercise, and for the most part, I do eat right. But there's just a lot of things that are happening just normally and naturally that are just going to happen with age. And, thank God I'm aging. I'd rather be on top of the ground than, under it. So that's that. So anyway, if anybody has any, let me see if there's anybody in the chats. Does anybody say anything? Have any comments yet? So again, y'all, I went live kind of early. So if you have any comments, you want to, hey, put them in the post and I'll respond to them later. If anybody has any things that they are taking, anything that they can suggest to make this this new life better, put it in the chat and we can put it out there for the people. That's it. I'm gonna get off menopause because it's a whole lot. The next thing I want to talk about is life altering relationships, because I guess I can transition out of menopause into the life altering relationships, because this is a life altering situation. It would be different if I was already in a relationship with somebody. You know what I'm saying? We already been grinding. We've been in this thing for the last, 10, 15, 20 years. Then they would be able to accept or go on this journey with me as I am transitioning. But at this age and stage of my life, it's going to be even more difficult for me to meet someone who is willing to go through these transitions with me, because anything could happen at any time. I don't know when I'm going to feel low energy. I don't know when I'm just not going to feel like it. I don't know when I'm just going to be, might have a mood swing. It's just, it's all types of weird stuff going on. And also I'm doing some other transitions in my life that I'll tell y'all about that later, because the Lord ain't told me to release that yet. But new things on the horizon coming up. So not only is my body transitioning, but my life is transitioning. So, got a little bit of flab. That's all right. We're still going to the gym. So yeah, that when you're entering into relationships, that is a life altering thing. When you're in a relationship, that's more than one person. That is, you're adding a whole nother person to your life, in which I don't understand why people don't take relationships more seriously, because it is a serious situation when you're adding a completely new person to your life. You're talking about you're blending families. Thank God I don't have no kids, but you're blending families. You're bringing in that person's childhood, how they lived what they did and how they were brought up, their childhood. You're taking on their traumas. And if you Black, you got traumas, period. You're taking on their conflict resolution or lack of conflict resolution. You're taking on their finances, their eating habits, their cleaning or lack of cleaning. You're taking on their morals or lack of morals, their any issues that they have dealt with or haven't dealt with. You're taking on their spiritual beliefs, their dreams, their goals. So that's why, to me, entering into a relationship is more than just having somebody to kick it with, more than just having somebody to, spend the rest of my life with, more than having somebody to go out on dates with and hang out and do concerts and things of that nature. And it's just more to it than that. So me being who I am, I can't just take, anybody. Because I have certain standards and morals and beliefs that I adhere to in my life, and I would expect that person to have the same, do the same. And there's this thing what I've been working on with myself, again, because I'm going through all these different transitions. So the saying, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all. I just recently downloaded that app. Like I just recently, had to compute that, because I've been single for so long. And really the only people that I deal with is my mama and my friends. And me and my friends been, hanging together for 20, 30 years. So we already know each other. So I'm in a situation, a safe space with most of my friends where I can just be me, because that's the way it should be. With my mom, speaking of life altering relationships, my mother moved in with me a few years ago. She's aging as well. So I have to be cognizant of the way that I talk to her. Now, I'm never going to be disrespectful, but I can, she called me in the other day and she was like, she's like, hey, come here. I go in and see what she wants. And she grabbed my hand and she said, you're going to always be my little girl. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but I'm a big girl. I'm a big girl now. She's like, I know, but you don't always be my little girl. And so she was holding my hands and she said, I want you to be softer. And I'm like, not that I'm not a soft person. And if you know me, I'm really not a soft person. But I had to tell her, I was like, Mom, it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on with me mentally. It's a lot going on with me physically. There's a lot of things that are changing, and I'm trying to deal with me the best way that I can deal with me, and I have to do that. I have to learn to do that well before I can deal with others. So when I say I just recently downloaded, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. I'm learning to think before I speak, and we've heard that for a long time. That's always been a saying, to think before you speak. But I'm really now learning to think before I speak, because the older I get, the more I don't care I get. And so I'm learning that I do have to be softer. I do have to be more sensitive to, let's say, people who are introverts, because I'm an extrovert. So I have to learn how to, pull it back. I can't just go in, on people. And I don't mind people doing that to me, because that's how I am, but I am learning to be softer. But I was telling my mom, she was like, I don't want you might meet a man who's really interested in you, and I don't want you to run him off. I said, well, the first thing is, if he's the man that God has for me, I can't run him off unless I'm just ignorant, and I'm not ignorant. So he would have to be strong enough and self-confident enough in himself to be able to deal with the type of person that I am, because I'm not going to change. Now, can I pull it back and can I be softer? Yes, I know how to do that. But here's the thing. I like a man with confidence. And confidence is about knowing who you are, but also whose you are. And I mean in Jesus Christ and spiritually. Now, what I don't like is a person or man who is cocky or arrogant, because when you're cocky and arrogant, that's not about Christ, that's about self. And that's a whole nother conversation by itself. So, but I said that to say, she was trying to tell me, I might need to, reel it in a little bit if I want to meet a man. I'm like, girl, that ain't how that works. If he want me, he got to take me and accept me for how I am, the same way that I got to accept him for who he is. We have to be equally yoked. And I recently had to tell somebody what that meant. Equally yoked has to do with your spiritual nature. It doesn't have anything to do with I got a business, so he got a business, or I got kids, so it's okay if he got kids, or I smoke, so he can smoke, or I drink. It ain't got nothing to do with that. Spiritually, equally yoked has to do with your spirituality and your moral values, and if you are compatible spiritually and morally. That is what equally yoked is about. You can Google it or just read your Bible. And so I'll say I set out that to get into also, again, life altering relationships. You're adding a totally different person to your life. There has to be a conversation had, because right about now, what I wanted 10 years ago is not what I want today. Now, when it comes to the type of man that I like, now the type of man that I like really has not changed. As far as physical and spiritual, I've always wanted somebody who nice build. He ain't got to have a six pack, because I don't have a six pack, but I am flat. So I would like, if he flat, he can be a little, he can have a little meat on him. You grown man, little grown man size is cool. But I'm ready to be soft. I'm ready to live in my soft life. As people say, I want to be swept off my feet. I want somebody to come in and be like, girl, babe, don't worry about it. I got it. I don't want to wash my car. I don't want to worry about checking the internet. I don't want to be doing the electrical. I don't want to be worrying about the stove went out. Like, I don't want to wash my car. I'm getting to the point now where I don't even want to go to the gas station to get. Like, I am so tired of doing everything, because I've been doing everything for so long. I literally now want someone to sweep me off my feet and be like, girl, girl, don't worry about it. I got you. Don't worry about I already got the insurance paid. All I got to do is add your name to the documents. I already got the good dental plan. I already got a good, attorney in place in case something go down. Like I want him to have like all the things, burial plot, all that's taken care of. You know what I mean? Somebody who's physically fit, somebody that I ain't got to drag to the gym. Someone who cares about his health, someone who, if he has his own business, that's great. If he's retired, that's great. But I want somebody to sweep me off my feet and be like, little lady, you ain't got to worry about none of that. You want to do your business? Go ahead on and do your business. You want to sit at the house and you want to redecorate, you want to paint shelves and cabinets for the rest of your life, babe, cool. Go make your money. Go do you. I got it. You know what I mean? Not to say that I'm not going to have bring something to the table, because I do bring things to the table. Listen, I got good credit. I'm clean. I'm right with the Lord. I'm involved in my church. So I do bring several things to the table, more than those things. But I do bring my own set of, things to the table. So when I say sweep me off my feet, babe, I'm ready to kick my feet up and relax. Like, baby, you want to go get your nails done yet? Because I'm not even a person that goes to get my nails done. I would love for somebody to say, girl, let's go get a mani pedi. He can get his nails done too, as long as it's clear out. Now all that polish and stuff, I'm not doing all that. But let's go to concerts. Let's go to a cooking class. Let's go to do a ghost thing. Let's go to a pottery, making class. Let's do some. I'm ready to have fun and enjoy my life, baby. Catch flights and feelings. So I'm ready for all of that. I'm ready for all of that. I don't want to say I'm ready for my Boaz, because y'all have overused that. But honey, I'm ready for my Prince Charming to come and sweep his princess off her feet. She is ready. Anybody else ready? I'm ready. Okay, let me see if there was anything else I wanted to talk about before I get off this podcast. No, I think that was pretty much it. Yeah, because again, I said I was working on myself. I did have a little note about that, about downloading the, be careful what you say. I even went as far as, because y'all told me I'm still working on myself. I even went as far as to go to Chat GPT, and I asked Chat GPT how to say what I feel without being offensive. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I am working on myself to the degree that I went and asked Chat GPT, what's the best way to convey this message to someone so that I don't sound offensive? Your girl out here working on yourself. And speaking of working on yourself, get some therapy. I know Black folks didn't used to get therapy, baby. We need therapy. Therapy is good for you. Therapy is good for us. It's good for everybody. So, honey, get you some therapy. And I think that is all I have to talk about on today. Check my notes. Comfort, religion, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Just be careful when this is my last thought. When you're entering into these life-altering relationships, do your background checks. Make sure you have the conversation with people. You should not be in a relationship for 6 months before you find out that somebody's credit is bad, or that they don't clean up, or that they have unresolved trauma, or they don't know how to do conflict resolution, or that they were married, or that they have such and such many kids. Like, all the things that people hide. And sometimes they don't hide, y'all just don't ask questions. And I know that for a fact, because I've had conversations with people. I'm like, you didn't ask that question before y'all started dating? No, it didn't come up. How it didn't come up? Girl, you should have been asking that. Ask the right questions. Ask the important questions. I don't care what size his shoe is. What kind of person is he? What kind of morals does he have? How is he going to treat you? Are y'all friends? Like, if y'all wasn't having sex, Could this be your friend? Is this somebody you can see you spending the rest of your life with? What if he gets sick, or God forbid, one of you guys becomes sick and you can't perform your wifely or husbandly duties? Are you gonna bounce? Because he can't, because he can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't hook up with people just for that reason. Y'all go deeper. Go out into the deep. When you're having conversation with somebody that you want to date, go out into the deep. That surface stuff is not gonna last. And I wasn't gonna say that. I don't know how I got on there, but anyway, that's what that is. All right. And now for our sponsor. Me. I have a book out. Style is a state of mind. You can get it at kstylesu.com. It is on, the ebook is $9.99. The paperback is $19.99. So support your girl. I will also be at the Young Adult Summit at DC3, I think it's the 26th through the 29th, or the 27th through 29th, something like that. DC3online.org. Anyway, I will be there, and I will have books and other stuff for sale. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you didn't catch the live, go watch me on YouTube. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. I am back. I am ready to do shows. I'm ready to share my thoughts and ideas about different subjects and stuff. So y'all support your girl, right? And I will holler at you next time.
It's the KFLO show, the one and only. It's the KFLO show, so get to know me. The KFLO show got favor on me. All these gifts and talents running through me, yep. Get in the know with KFLO. Subscribe to the KFLO show on YouTube to watch live and catch up on shows you missed.
Bye.